guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be basically, like you can from the title, speaking about some super underrated products that I personally feel like they just don't get enough hype out there on the internet. I know a lot of products are very hyped these days, and some of them do deserve the hype, some of them in my personal opinion don't, but these products, you know, get a lot of attention in general. While on the other hand, I have a lot of favorite products which I feel like are not talked about enough. People either haven't discovered them, or people, you know, aren't talking about them as much as they should be spoken about, in my personal opinion. So I wanted to basically shed some more light on these hidden gems that you may or may not have heard about. And yeah, we're gonna jump right into the video, and I'm gonna speak about it. It's a list I've curated for a while, and some of these other products I've obviously spoken about in other videos, but I felt like it actually deserves like a dedicated video like this. So I really hope that this video reaches as many people as possible, and you guys get to discover these products. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Starting with first, let's talk about some of my favorite sunscreens actually, which I feel like are not getting enough love. I have two to mention over here. The first one are the fixed Derma Sunscreens. Now these I feel like people know about, they just haven't given it enough of a chance to you know, realize how good they are. And these, you guys, if I'm going to be honest, could easily be one of my holy grail sunscreens. I could replace a lot of sunscreens that I have in my collection right now and just go with these because of how unique the texture and the formulation is, but also how versatile it is. So these are ones that I've recently discovered. I've been using the SPF 51, like the SPF 31 is a new tube. I've used the SPF 30 already. It's basically actually the same formulation. If I'm gonna be honest, it's just different SPFs. But yeah, this is a sealed one. I haven't opened it yet, but the SPF 50 is what I've been using recently, and I have fallen freaking in love with this. You're gonna probably see it in my April favorites as well, if I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, this one is freaking amazing, you guys. It is a very lightweight gel lotion. I would compare it a little bit, I wouldn't compare it, but if you used the Lotus UV Screen Matte Gel back in the day, I was holy grail for that sunscreen before I did not know that it did not have, in my personal opinion, enough UV filters, but also that texture can pill a little bit. This one has never pilled on me with any product. It first looks like a cream, blends onto the skin like a moisturizer. If you did not tell me that this was a sunscreen, I probably would just think this is a moisturizer, if I'm going to be completely honest. It does not leave like a silicone-y matte finish on the skin, leaves a very comfortable skin, like moisturized finish. Like, I am not joking to you. If you want to know what this feels like, it feels like a moisturizer with SPF basically. So it is so amazing. It's been working so freaking amazing for me, and it's one of those, you know, more dermatology focused brands which gives me a lot of comfort in knowing that, you know, it's got all the SPF you know, filters that I would personally want in it. UV filters, not SPF filters, UV filters that should be in it ideally. And these are just amazing. I don't care which one you get, the SPF 30 or the SPF 50. I know for a fact that the ingredients pretty much are the same. Actually no, you know what, the ingredients are different. I'm very surprised to know that, if I'm going to be honest. The SPF 30 has zinc oxide and probably a bunch of other you know, UV filters in it, but this one doesn't leave a white cast like you would assume zinc oxide sunscreens would, which is freaking amazing. This one has a lot of chemical filters, specifically the SPF 50. So even though I actually thought that they were different, actually, you know what, the SPF 50 also has zinc oxide, but it's much lower on the ingredient list. So even though I wanted to say that these are the same and it's got the same ingredients, it actually doesn't, but it still feels so similar. I cannot tell you a difference between the SPF 50 and the SPF 30. Honestly, they feel very, very similar to me. And one more thing that I quickly want to mention about them before we move on to the other products, because I didn't realize I've been talking about these for a while and we have a lot of products to cover. So one more thing that I want to tell you about it is that I keep telling you that my Deconstruct skincare sunscreen, which I'm going to talk about in a bit, works really great under makeup, because if I don't want to have much of a gap between applying my SPF and applying my makeup on top, I have to sometimes do that with certain sunscreens, because I feel like my makeup can look cakey if I'm not waiting enough in between. Now typically waiting 10-15 minutes is fine, but I wouldn't wait longer than that. So what happens with the Deconstruct is that I can reduce my waiting time because it has more of a matte finish, whereas these don't have a super matte finish. They have a very skin like finish, but they still dry pretty quickly. And yesterday was also one of the days I was filming, and I was filming a chatty get ready with me, and I put this on as my sunscreen. I wasn't actually planning on filming, but since I had some spare time, I ended up doing my chatty get ready with me, and I put on makeup obviously while filming that video, and there wasn't much of a waiting time in between, and my makeup did not cake up at all with the sunscreen underneath, and not much of a waiting time. So I can tell you that this is not the only sunscreen now that I will be using on my filming days. I will also be using these a lot on my filming days. So you can clearly tell that this is becoming a favorite sunscreen, and I don't know why more people are not using this or talking about it. I know a lot of new sunscreens are coming up there, but this is one that has been in the market for a while, and it's a tried and true favorite staple that has stood the test of time for a reason. So would highly recommend the Fix Derma sunscreens, but I've been talking about this for a while. So let's quickly move on and talk about some other products. I want to quickly mention the Deconstruct sunscreen, and I have 3 tubes clearly from what you can tell. I have 2 backups. These are my 2 backups, the one in the box and this tube which is brand new, and this is the one that I'm almost out of, like you can tell. So I just wanted to show you all my backups because I wanted to show you how much I freaking love the sunscreen, and I will be using it a lot, using this one a lot in the summer. But I also will tell you that because the Fix Derma has kind of been a good alternative replacement for a sunscreen that I will be wearing on makeup days, that is going to result in me probably not wearing this as much. But now I feel like this is a sunscreen I'll probably gravitate more for no makeup days, and I'll tell you why. So sometimes on no makeup days I want something that makes my skin look amazing, because I don't plan on putting any other makeup on, but I still don't want to look like dull and just blah, you know. And sometimes even though sunscreens might give you nice protection and might not necessarily leave a white cast, but they might make your skin look a little bit more dewy and shiny, and as someone who has oily combination skin, that's not my favorite. But this particular sunscreen leaves a very nice matte finish on the skin, which is why I have recommended this to a lot of people who tell me that they have super oily skin, because I actually feel like you will really like this because of the finish that it leaves behind, and it just perfects your face in such a beautiful way, you guys, that I would highly recommend this for no makeup days as well as for makeup days, because for makeup days this is going to be a great primer underneath your makeup for you, and on no makeup days this is going to be the last step, which is going to just perfect your face so beautifully, so smoothly, and leave a really nice matte finish on the skin. So it's basically perfect as it's a great summer sunscreen. I wouldn't use this in the winters because of the more matte finish, and I feel like my skin gets a little bit dry in the winters, so I wouldn't want to use this. But the summers and even the monsoon for that matter, I will be grabbing this and reaching for this so often. And because I'm almost out of it, I knew I had to make sure I have my backups on hand. This is one I'm going to be traveling with also very soon in the month of April, because it's just one of those reliable go-tos. I can easily tell you that if I have my Deconstruct and I have my Fix Derma, these are the 2 I'm going to be traveling with, and I will do a dedicated like travel skincare makeup that I'm going to be packing video very soon, so stay tuned for that. Any which ways, I feel like we spoke about sunscreens for almost 10 minutes now, so let's move on and talk about some moisturizers that I feel like are super duper underrated. Now I know a lot of different brands have been coming out with so many different moisturizers, and so many of them are talked about so much, but these are just a couple of ones that I feel like are not talked about enough, so I wanted to talk about them. I have two, and then I have one night cream also. The two daytime moisturizers which I want to talk about is the Chemist moisturizing cream gel, and I also have this one thing, Centella soothing cream. These are the two that I want to talk about today, and I'll talk about them both one by one. The Mist one I feel like is again another like dermat kind of brands. The manufacturer is Brinton, which is a pharmaceutical based company, so it's a very like clinical like drugstore medical store vibes kind of a product. You can also find this, I believe, on Nykaa. I'm not sure if you can find this on Nykaa, but you can find this on Amazon and also other like pharmacy or retailers. Basically that's where I typically tend to buy this. I buy it from 1mg. This is just a beautiful versatile product in my opinion. The name just says it perfectly. It's a moisturizing cream gel. Those three words are the perfect way to describe it. It is moisturizing, it is a cream, but it is also a gel because it is pretty lightweight in the skin. It's not too heavy. I loved using it in the winter. I want to continue to use it in the summers also and see how it works. But I would probably, I don't know, would I use this in the night time just for the summers? I just might. I want to give that a shot and see if this works as a summer nighttime. Wow, I lost my voice there for a second. I want to use this as a summer nighttime moisturizer and see how it works. But if you're someone who just wants to have a super minimalistic routine, or even if you want to get something for like your father, your boyfriend, your brother, if they want to kind of get into skincare, or if you feel like their skin is suffering and you want to get them into skincare, a lot of brands out there these days have very feminine packaging, and I don't like brands that have super masculine packaging that are just geared towards guys, like the Garnier men's line or even the Plum men's line that they have. I feel like that's just unnecessary. You don't need to have, like, skincare is not gender specific, you know. That's why I would prefer something like this, which doesn't look super feminine, but it would work both for women and men. This is something you could share with your husband if you're married and you guys would like to like share skincare. I think that's very romantic even to do that. But yeah, probably get 2 tubes because one is not going to be enough for both of you. But yeah, this is just a great moisturizer. Would highly recommend if you haven't tried this out yet. I personally feel like this is so underrated. I did not hear anyone speak about it apart from like one blogger that I saw post about, like, she goes through this on a regular basis and it's her holy grail moisturizer, and she was speaking about it, and I'm like, I have never seen anyone talk about this, which make me more intrigued to try it out, and I'm glad I did because I absolutely love it. So that's the Mist moisturizing gel cream. The other moisturizer is the one thing, Centella soothing cream, that I wanted to speak about. Now this is a very different consistency. It's more of like a, how do you say, it's like that slightly thick gel kind of a consistency, which is a little more occlusive, but it's not like a thick cream. It is still like sort of a gel. You know, it's very unique, and the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I feel like it's one of those underrated K-beauty products that needs more attention, more hype. And what I also really like about it is that it is one that comes in a bigger size. One tube of this is gonna last you for months and months. I can assure you that because I've already gone through one tube completely. This is one of my 2 backups that I have, and again, love it so much. I cannot tell you if the soothing Centella part of it is actually really applicable because I don't have super like sensitive skin. So even though I've used it, and I can tell you it's an amazing moisturizer, very unique. And a lot of moisturizers these days I feel like are similar to each other in a way. So when I find a texture or a formulation that is unique, I really feel like I should speak about it, because it's something that's actually noteworthy that I feel like you should be trying, because I haven't tried anything like this at all. So yes, that's the one thing, Centella soothing cream, that I wanted to speak about. Now last but not the least, I'm going to tell you my favorite, I mean, this is one of my 2 favorite night creams, let's just say that, and it's the one that I tend to repurchase the most. I don't repurchase the other one as much, even though it's like a guilty pleasure product, and that one gets more hype. It's the Formula RX Peptide Ceramide. The other one that I feel like no one talks about this, I have not heard anyone else speak about this particular night cream, and I feel like you know what it is if you follow my channel regularly. It is the Chemist at Play night cream. This is the dry to normal skin one that I have 3 backups of, and recently I went through this one. This is the oily skin one, and these look exactly the same, just with a blue color ka dhakkan. So when I knew I was running out of this, I knew I had to buy a couple of backups, and they had a 3 for 1099 offer going on. Sometimes you find a buy to get 2, sometimes you find these kind of offers. I haven't seen these kind of offers actually before from them, but I guess now they started introducing that. I'm not too sure how that works, but this individually retails for 699 rupees, so the offer was definitely a great way to save a lot of money on my favorite moisturizers. And also, I know these are not going to expire anytime soon, which is also pretty great. Actually, I should check that before I say it. Yeah, these are not going to expire anytime soon, which is amazing. So yeah, this particular moisturizer, I feel like I should just open one to show you how amazing it is. It's a super thick cream, which is why a little goes a long way. I will tell you that these have less than your standard amount of product. Like a standard moisturizer comes with 50 grams or 50 ml. This just comes with 40 grams. So that is not my favorite thing about them. But I will tell you that if you can see how thick this product is, it's like a elevated cold cream. Let me tell you that. It is super duper thick. Which means a little goes a long way. You really don't need a lot of product. And I have also started becoming a little better about this, is not overusing it, because if I feel like I'm using too much product, it becomes a little bit difficult to blend in the skin, obviously. But if you just use a little bit, a little goes a long way. And one tub should roughly last you about a month. Mine sometimes doesn't last me the entire month, and it gets over before that, because I overuse a little bit sometimes. But this is such a beautiful, super duper moisturizing moisturizer, because it just feels like a pleasure to apply. It does have a little bit of a scent, even though it's not supposed to have any sort of artificial fragrance in it. I believe it's the fragrance of the ingredients in here, and it's just amazing. It's so beautiful. When I wake up the next morning, my skin never, even in the winter, never ever feels dry when I'm using this particular product. And that's something I really appreciate, because I don't like to wake up feeling like tight and dry. And now that my skin is less oily, I feel like that could happen sometimes with certain moisturizers, but that never ever happens with this. And it's such a beautiful product, as compared to any other moisturizer that is out there in the market, specifically the ones that are focused for the night time. And I know some people say you can use the same moisturizer day and night. I'm sorry, but I disagree. I feel like your daytime moisturizer has to be a little bit more lightweight, whereas your night cream is supposed to be just a tad bit more heavy, because you tend to like sleep on your pillow, and some of the product gets transferred there. And you know, we want our skin to be nice and protected in the night time. And because it's a little bit more cooler as compared to the daytime, it could also be a little bit more dry. So that's just my personal opinion. I feel like you cannot use the same moisturizer day and night. I would only do that when I'm traveling, probably, because I want to carry less products. Any which ways, moving on, let's talk about my last few products. I have 3 left that I want to speak about. 2 of them are face washes. These are my two favorite face washes that I would honestly repurchase over and over again, and I am surprised to know that neither of these are talked about as much as I would like them to be spoken about. The first one, so I don't have my favorite variant, I'm just going to show you a different variant in the same face wash. My favorite variant is the Dot & Key Watermelon face wash, the one that comes in the pink tube. It looks exactly the same, it's just pink in color instead of green. This is the Sika Calming Blemish Clearing face wash, which I actually don't like as much, but I completely used it up. I went to my empties bin to check if I have any empties of my Dot & Key face wash, but I believe I don't. I believe I already went through my empties and send those for recycling, so I don't have any on hand right now. But that Watermelon Glow face wash is actually amazing. I know that they have now expanded the range and a lot of people are getting that face wash in PR, and I feel like some of the other products, like the newer products, for example the moisturizer or the sunscreen, is getting more attention, which might not be a bad thing, I don't know, but I'm not interested in those as much. The face wash is actually the most amazing product in that lineup. Like truly, if you want to try one thing from the watermelon line, please get the face wash, because you guys, a little goes such a long way. It has that beautiful gel consistency that I love about face washes, and a lot of times those kind of gel face washes can be a little bit drying on the skin, but these are surprisingly not. Like this one is okay, but the watermelon one, like truly that one is so amazing. I ended up going through 2 of them in total, and it's just absolutely amazing. Once I go through my entire current stash of face washes, that is one I will definitely be repurchasing for sure. The other face wash that I want to speak about is actually, I mean, I have the backup here to show you. It's the Deconstruct Hyaluronic Acid Hydrating Face Wash. I've spoken about it for a while. I wanted to show you my actual bottle that I am almost done with. I have a little bit product left, but I don't know where it is. I know I haven't emptied it. I know it is somewhere. I just don't know where. Tried finding it, couldn't find it, so I just thought I'll show you my backup. This is the best, most affordable hydrating face wash that you can find. I know that the Put Simply one is getting a lot of hype, and there are other hydrating face washes. Even the Sugandha Centella green tea one has been out in the market for a while, and I know a lot of people just love that, and it's a staple for a lot of people. But those face washes are all more than 500 rupees. This one is 299, which still seems like a lot of money, but if you think about it, you can get this on Sublime Life. You can redeem your points and get it for cheaper. They do have sales also pretty often, so at least you can save like 5% or 10%, which I know is not a lot, but still I feel like every rupee counts at the end of the day. So this is so much more affordable as compared to those, and it is the exact same in terms of its non-drying, doesn't have that super duper soapy formulation, and for people who have dry skin who need that kind of face wash, you don't need to spend like 700-800 bucks on those expensive face washes when you can find something that's 300 bucks and it's the same. So that is the reason why I feel like this product needs to get more hype. And even though, like I said, I have more combination oily skin, I still feel like this is an amazing face wash because it still lathers on your skin. I want to let you know that it still lathers, but the lather is so gentle and so non-drying that it doesn't dry out your face. So that's why I absolutely love this. Last but not the least, I'm going to talk about one more product before we get done with this video, and that is a retinol. Now, the one that I have here to show you with me, actually I want to show you the other option also because I feel like the other product is also pretty underrated, but the one that I have here to show you is the Earth Rhythm Rapid Renew Concentrate. This is my favorite, like hands down my favorite retinol ever. This is one that my mom also uses. Now she switched to the Foxtail one, which is cheaper, but this is hands down the best retinol out there. I do not even remember how many of these I've gone through, maybe like 10, 12, 15, lost count. I have a couple of backups also that I purchased, but Yes, I've been using retinol for over a year now. I want to say almost 1.5 years, but probably it's closer to a year. And my skin has never looked this good. And for majority of that 1 year, I've been using this product. So if I have to credit like my amazing skin to one product, it has to be this, because I've been using all my other skincare, you know, for a long time. I've been using vitamin C, I've been using sunscreen, been using moisturizers, niacinamide, all of that. But ever since using retinol, my skin has truly transformed. So all thanks to this product in specific, and just retinol in general as an ingredient. I also want to recommend one more retinol, which I also feel is a little bit underrated. I don't think retinol as an ingredient is underrated. I just feel like these two specific products are underrated. The other retinol product, it's actually a retinal. I feel like retinol is very easily available in the Indian market now, but once you use retinol, I feel like you eventually at some point need a little bit of a step up, and that step up is retinal or retinaldehyde, which is supposed to be a little bit more stronger than retinol, because retinol needs 2 conversion steps, retinal needs 1 conversion step. So that means your skin is going to see more results with retinal as compared to retinol, but you cannot directly jump into retinal. You have to start with retinol first because it's a little bit more gentle on the skin. So once your skin gets used to retinol, then you can jump in and start using retinal. And in the Indian market, there are like very few retinal serums available out there. One of the ones that is available, so that's why I feel like this needs to be spoken about more, is the Thrive Youth Renewal Pro retinal serum. I've also used the starter one and I've also used the pro one. I personally cannot tell much of a difference between the two, which is why I just decided to go with the pro one instead, because the starter has 6% of their age defy complex, whereas the pro one has 11% of the age defy complex. Now I just want to quickly let you know, this age defy complex is not straight up retinal only. So when I say that this has 11% of the age defy complex, I don't want you to think this has 11% retinal, because 11% retinal will probably burn the top layer of your skin. That's way too strong. I'm pretty sure this has other peptides and different kind of vitamin A derivatives and products along with the retinal, of course. And also this one has encapsulated retinol, by what I can see on the back of the packaging when I'm reading the ingredients. So that tells me this is going to be stronger, but it's not going to be super harsh on your skin at all. And that's something I have to tell you with the Thrive serums is great, is that I never experienced any kind of purging, retinization or anything of that sort with these, even with using them every single day right out of the get-go. Like, of course, when I started using it, I used it every other day, or I guess twice in a week, but I felt like it was super gentle, so I very quickly jumped up to every day and I had no issues. So that's something that you should also kind of know when you're using it, is that it's super gentle, so you can use this every day. But if you're a newbie to retinol, then please don't use it every day. So yes, those are all the products that I wanted to speak to you about in today's video, and I definitely talked and spoke and made this way longer than I was intending it to be. But I really hope that you found this video helpful, informative, and you got to know about some of my favorite products, which personally I feel like are very underrated in the skincare space. There are some other products also that I had kind of mentioned on the list, but I have seen those products getting more attention recently, so I just took them off the list and decided that I just want to keep these products in my underrated skincare products for 2023 list. So yes, that's gonna be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Have you tried any of these products? Do you like them? Do you dislike them? Do you think they're underrated, or do you think that I just haven't heard enough people speaking about it, but maybe these things are getting hype and I'm just not aware about it? I don't know, you guys, but let me know your thoughts down below. I would love to chat with you. But that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye.